Hello everyone, I'm still working on my short film about a mouse who brings a painting to an art show and ends up trading paintings with a new friend. In the last video, I showed you how I made some of the props and set dressing for this scene, and I mentioned that I had some ideas about how to create the water effect for the scenes where the mouse sails to the gallery, and back home again, and to visit the new friend. This episode is going to be a little bit different because I just want to talk a little bit about invention and engineering. Have you ever seen this kind of mechanism before? I built this model, but I've seen lots of different versions of it, made by lots of different people. The idea has been around for a long time. I don't know who came up with it, but someone did. Wasn't that clever? Someone thought of the idea, that's the inventing part, coming up with a new idea, and someone figured out how to build it and make it work well. That's the engineering part. This crank is attached to an axle, but the axle doesn't go straight through to the other side. It's shaped like this. I slot these pieces of cardstock in here and into these slots on the other side, so they can rotate on this side and slide back and forth on this end. They're positioned in different points on the axle's rotation to make the waves move in this overlapping motion. So to operate the wave effect, you just turn the crank. I really like this mechanism. It's pleasing to watch, and it evokes the undulating quality of the ocean's surface. I got to wondering, though, if there's a way to create a mechanism that could convey the random changing nature of waves on the water. I didn't know how, but that's okay. Saying I don't know is a way of giving your imagination room to come up with something new. I remember when I was little, there was a small sculpture in our home that was made of nails and washers welded together to look like an acrobat. The acrobat was holding a wire like this, and on each end was a washer for weight. This little person was balanced on a nail that had a divot in it, and it had a wooden base. So the acrobat figure would stay on that one point, but could turn and rock freely, balancing on the nail. I wonder if that kind of motion could suggest the motion of waves on the water. If I put some paper wave shapes on a crosspiece that could pivot in the middle, it could be weighted underneath to keep it oriented the right way up, while still rocking back and forth. Then I could attach the same shape to pivot on each end of that crosspiece. So I built a prototype. That means a test version, just to see if the idea would work. I had some blue paper, so I used that for the waves, but for the real version, of course I'll paint better waves. I attached these clips for more weight and set it in motion. That looks pretty nice. But how will I keep it in motion? I could attach it to rods that move with the same kind of mechanism I started with. I'm just moving it with my hands for now. The different pieces seem to be staying too level with each other, though. Maybe if I added a stable slider to act on one of these pieces. In fact, then I could set it in motion with a crank. I'd better build another prototype. If I put a hinge here Then one rod could have this up and down motion. And I can build the same mechanism in the other direction too. Let's see how it looks with some paper waves attached. Theoretically, I think I could keep adding on, repeating the same mechanism. That looks pretty nice too. I had some other ideas while I was playing around with these materials. One advantage of doing puppetry on film is that you are working from a single chosen vantage point. The camera films from its one spot, so I could position a conveyor belt type of mechanism like this to show just the wavy edges. That looks surprisingly convincing to me. I wonder if there's a way to use the rolling motion of some cylinders. I thought those were all the ideas I would try for now, but then I got thinking it would be nice if there was a way to show the surface of the water changing shape, and I thought of this mechanism. I could make the jointed pieces into shapes that look more like ocean waves. They could be actuated by a crank, so it seems I've come back to a variation on the original mechanism. I have a feeling I've seen this kind of mechanism somewhere before. I'm sure other people have had the same idea. It's funny how imagination and memory get mixed up together sometimes. I'll keep thinking about it. I like each option for different reasons. What I like about all of them is that, even though they don't look like real waves, they still make me think of the ocean. The special effect happens in the imagination of the audience. I'll keep thinking about and experimenting with the water effect. Since I'm working on that, it also makes sense to start working on the mouse's boat, and I'll tell you about that in the next video.